Good morning. There's been both a lot going on this week and not nearly enough going on this week, so I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter. I don't have a con or any specific questions to, ramble on about this week. If you know me, you know that I like to create a lot of things. I like to use the computer to help me create things. I used to do a lot of sculpting, making masks, doing paper mache projects, things like that. But lately I've been getting into computer-aided design. But the hard part is keeping active on those things, especially when all the machines require careful calibration. And after moving into this office space here, I set up all of my crafting supplies close to my desk, but I did not get them all calibrated to work properly. So I finally took a little bit of time this week to work on that. Last week I had a lot of time that I was honestly kind of sick, congested, still am a bit, kind of spent the weekend just lounging around. But on Monday, I calibrated my 3D printer, my laser cutter, and my Cricut machine, kind of. So I'm going to start with the 3D printer thing, mainly because I'm like holding this together with my hands, but I calibrated it. Well, it's not going to focus properly. They're about to fall apart there. So, most of the pieces printed pretty well. I had to do just light cleanup, and they are going to be like pressure fitted with just a little bit of glue to go into the proper spots. So like that body piece there goes into this little peg on the throne. You can see there's little cutouts for the rest of it. But it wasn't perfectly calibrated. I still have the problem of a few pieces coming off of the build plate. That's where all the resin from the 3D printer makes the figures. So like an example is the base that throne sits on. That kind of fell off and just stopped printing partway through. Similarly, something that needed to be calibrated was my laser engraver. I haven't used this in a while because the old laser module for it broke, and I had to order a new one. Thankfully, it was within warranty, so the company sent me, a replacement for it. But it was very uncalibrated, and I just was not getting any good burns out of it. So again, I spent some time working on it here. You can kind of see from least calibrated to most calibrated here. I also have a little air assist module, and I kind of wrote down some of the settings that I used, and I'm really happy with how much cleaner it got. And then over here, I tried getting it lighter and lighter to see how far it could go, but those are a bit too light. But a little sun icon is not really anything fancy. So I next tried engraving this little more complicated design of my persona. Hold it up to the side so you can see the edges there. I really like how the burns come out when they have a nice indentation to them. They have a nice feel on them. And this is just some, untreated, unvarnished wood that I was just testing with, but I'm going to start using it again on other things. It works well on paper and cardboard, works well on wood and plastic. I'm trying to get it to work properly on metal eventually. But for now, I'm just glad to have it set up again so I can start using it regularly. And having everything right near my desk, it's right off screen there, makes it a lot more likely that I'm going to use it regularly. Also, speaking of having it right next to my desk, one thing for the laser engraver is I do need to get a hood for it. Thankfully, it's near a window, but I want to get a fan actively blowing smoke out of the room because I don't really want to get sick. And then finally, my Cricut machine. It's a machine that makes cuts that you can define by the computer. I had to recalibrate that. That one is really finicky. The light sensor on it is not great. So for instance, some of them cut very off of how they were supposed to cut, but I was finally able to get it to the point where they would print and cut a bit better. There's still a little bit of an issue on the bottom, but they're a lot better. And I also got some nice coatings for them that I was trying that would make them holographic. And some of them I also have a nice little different designs for the holographic designs, and I think they really turned out nice. But yeah, like I said, there's still a little bit of, especially notice on the circular one here, there's supposed to be a white border around it, but there is still a bit of calibration that needs to be done. But I'm still happy overall with how they're turning out. And I can finally get back to proper sticker making. I mentioned a few weeks ago that I want to, finally open up my own shop, and having the machines working again will help me to do so with my crafting. Outside of all those physical things, I've also been coding again on the browser extension that I'm working on for newsletter curation. This time I think I have enough that I can really show you. So I'm going to put a link to the GitHub repo in the description, which also brings up that I'm trying out a new to me editing software that multiple people have suggested. But I want to give credit to my friend Mally, who suggested it first. DaVinci Resolve. A lot of people say it's really great. I admit I've been using iMovie because it's simple and I didn't have to learn something new. But I would absolutely want to start doing more keyboard command shortcuts to make it easier to make videos. I'm finally planning out and working on video tutorials for web design things. So I'm going to go over this a bit more probably in the next vlog about my specific wants there. But overall, I'm trying to make tutorials on how to do specific things in web development, getting started, coding, finding resources to learn how to, what some simple things are, specifically for marginalized individuals, people who, like me, get really turned off when they see videos that are very tech bro-y. By that, I mean there's a lot of tutorials that I've tried watching that I don't really get into because I'm not really a fan of the types of 4chan and adjacent memes that they might use to represent things, or the way they edit them, or what they talk about, or how they talk about, you have to do everything to get the hustle and grind to get a startup or whatever. Plus, I just like things that are cute, pastel, and colorful, and I'm really excited to launch that soon. I just really need to stop putting these things off. So again, that's what this vlog is for a bit of accountability, to have me say things that I know that at least a handful of people are watching and commenting on, and have to keep myself accountable for that. So I think that's about it for everything I have to go over. I might not do a vlog next week since I'm going to be doing a little bit of a vacation break time over that weekend. But, the vlog can still be something fun. I just might not have this set up. But if I don't see you next week, I'll see you in 2 weeks. If you have any plans for Thanksgiving, leave a comment. If you have anything else you want to discuss, or any comments on the things I showed you, or if you want me to make something, I totally want more ideas on